Let me paint you a quick picture. It's 8:28 a.m, start of the school day. You've just walked into your classroom. You're balancing your laptop, your coffee, and a pile of marking you swore you'd finished last night, but didn't quite get it done. A student appears at your desk. Sir, I didn't understand that text yesterday. Do you have an easier version? You nod, smile, and say, I'll sort something out for you, while quietly panicking a little bit inside because another 26 students or more are going to wander through that door in about 2 minutes. And you just don't have a modified version ready to go. Sound familiar? That was me just a few weeks ago. It was AI that saved me. I opened ChatGPT, pasted in the original text and type, please rewrite this passage for a Year 7 reading level. Keep it simple, but keep the meaning and the content and structure the same for the work. By the time the bell rang, I had a clean, readable version on the printer tray ready to give to the student. And that student didn't even have to miss a beat. The student didn't even know what I did for them. All they know is they got the materials and resources they needed to help them succeed. And the best part, the whole process took me under 90 seconds. Today's episode of Teachers AI Cafe, I'm going to show you 3 practical things you can try tomorrow or even later today if you're listening in the morning, using free AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, the free versions. These are real strategies I use in my own classroom to save time, reduce stress for myself, and support every learner a little bit more than I could previously. Before we get into it, if you're enjoying the podcast, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to this, and subscribe. So let's get into it. Let's start with something every teacher needs: differentiated resources. Doesn't want to come out today, that word. You've got some students reading at Year 10 level and others barely reading at Year 4. Not uncommon in the classroom today. And yet we still often hand out the same text we hope for the best because we're often teaching to the middle. For example, if I've got a class of 32 students, which is not uncommon here in Australia, then I'm teaching to the middle and doing what I can for the students on the outliers. With a tool like ChatGPT or any AI, you can take any reading passage from a textbook, worksheet, or online article and type a simple prompt. And this is the prompt you can use. So you can use the following prompt. Now, when I talk about adjusting languages, you'll know what to adjust the language for your students. In my case, I'm going to put in a generic prompt and you make those customized adjustments for your situation. So the prompt would be, please rewrite the following text to suit a Year 5 reading level. Use simpler words and shorter sentences, keep the meaning the same. And then you paste the text underneath, and that's it. Of course, you hit enter as well. The output is a simplified, readable version that's more accessible to students who need the support. Want it even simpler? Ask her to turn the same text into dot points. However, English is a second language student or students with dyslexia. You can ask her to adjust the formatting, the line spacing, and even highlight every second word, like I did with a student named April in an earlier episode. The power here isn't creating new content. It is adapting the resources that you already have. And that's important. We don't want to reinvent the wheel each time as teachers. With zero extra typing beyond the prompt. And what is also good about this is the students in the class don't know you're handing out differentiated resources. You can print them and hand them out as you hand out with all the other task sheets, adjusting which student gets what level of complexity in their language on their desk to work with. Knowing the other students do know doesn't create any divide within the class, and we're still working together to achieve the same aim of growing our students. Give it a go. Strategy number 2, retrieval practice. Both you and I know quizzes are the best way to reinforce learning. But let's be honest, making them can take quite a bit of time. Who has the time to write a fresh quiz after every lesson? What we want to do is be able to get existing resources that we've used that lesson and then generate the retrieval activity or the quiz format we choose to use for the following lesson straight away. So here comes AI again. All you have to do is copy the lesson text, all the key points, and even script from a short video and simply ask it the following prompt. Based on the following passage, create 2 multiple choice questions, 2 short answer questions, and 1 true-false question, based only on the information included in this lesson and this resource. Paste your content below and you've got a ready-to-go quiz in seconds. You can change the mix. So you can say, I only want higher order thinking questions. Ask for that. Want it for a year 3 or a year 11 level? Just say so. Give it the direct instruction. Want to print it out? Ask it to export it or put it in a table for you. So with ChatGPT, you can ask it directly to export it out to, say, Word or Excel, or you can ask it to generate the table within the chat, and then you can copy and paste that table into whatever resource, such as Google Docs, Microsoft, or even Apple, that you actually use in your classroom. What I also do at the same time I do this is I ask it to generate a solution key for me. It's already got the questions there. And then straight away, I've got my solution key ready to go as well, that I can then obviously share with the students, depending on the format, or use my own personal view to have that conversation with students to try and draw out the correct answers if they're not doing too well in the quiz. So this is a game changer for quizzes, but also for extra tickets, quick comprehension checks, and fast informative assessments as you're traveling along. And it costs you less time than it does, honestly, to sip your coffee. The fact that we can produce these based on existing resources is really useful. So let's talk about feedback. As teachers, we know that feedback is essential. It drives growth, boosts confidence, and helps students reflect. Here in Australia, we often look at the research of a gentleman called Hattie from the University of Melbourne, who looked at the impact of different strategies. And based on his research, feedback is the most influential teacher action in terms of progressing our students. Therefore, good feedback is important, but good feedback is also time-consuming. Let's talk about it. But feedback also takes forever, especially when you're trying to mark, say, 25 essays and still get to that staff meeting or deal with your family or other activities outside work. ChatGPT, you can simplify the process, but I do put a caveat in there that you do not rely just on ChatGPT to do all your feedback for your students. It is an additional tool to build on your own knowledge and experience. So a prompt is, here's a student's paragraph. Please give kind, constructive feedback focused on sentence structure and clarity. Suggest one improvement and one next step they need to take. Paste the student's work in, let it generate the first draft of your feedback. You still need to review it. You need to add your own voice in there, make the adjustments. But now instead of 10 minutes per student, you're looking at doing 2 or 3 minutes per student. You can even teach students to do this themselves, and I'm going to do a separate episode on that because it's something I certainly encourage for my students. 3 things you can try tomorrow. Simplify text for different readers. Auto-generate quick quiz. Draft student feedback in seconds instead of minutes, lots of minutes. None of these requires coding, and that's the beauty of AI. None of it needs new platforms. Just use what you're already using. All you need is just a clear prompt and a few spare minutes and your own knowledge to review what it actually provides to you. But if you don't know, don't worry. You don't have to try all 3 at once. Start with one. I've made a free download with the exact prompts I've mentioned today. You can grab it at a link in the show notes, print it, share it, and use it as your cheat sheet. I'm going to start improving those sort of supportive resources for my podcast because I'm new to this, only 6 episodes in, so I'm learning as I go. Do look in the show notes and download it. It'll ask you to fill out a form with your name and your email address, and then you'll get it emailed back to you. If you don't want to get future emails from me as I develop resources around this topic in more depth, you can just unsubscribe at a later point. But what I will do is, as the new resources get made, I'll automatically email them out to you with each episode, so you have to manually go and download them. As always, thank you for joining me at Teachers AI Cafe. If this episode gave you one idea to make your teaching easier, I'm very happy. Until then, enjoy your cuppa, your walk or your drive, and I'll chat to you soon.